welcome all professional, young professionals, Jewish Korean and Korean Jewish. I'm very glad to see you all here today. And first of all, I would like to take this moment to give my sincere appreciation to Bob Kaplan, also Susie Kim, who have been putting a lot of time and effort in bringing this forum to us. Our young leaders must obtain an insight in expanding their horizon through collaboration with the other communities. Acknowledging this importance, Korean American Association of Greater New York has been tirelessly stretching our hands to other communities to make a mutual relationship.
Shalom to everybody. Annyeonghaseyo. It's a pleasure for me to be here. As I told Rabbi Kaplan, as well as Mr. Ha, I wasn't planning on speaking, which is always very dangerous, because once I stand before this microphone, I could almost say anything. I first want to thank Ms. Kim for providing these beautiful offices for this meeting. 감사합니다. It's as Mr. Ha indicated, on the trip to Israel, and Rabbi Kaplan was on the trip as well, we had a number of discussions, and one of the discussions revolved around the fact that there is very little interplay institutionally between the Korean and Jewish communities. So where would we begin? And it was Mr. Ha who indicated that the beginning is best from the beginning, from the younger elements within our community, from young leadership.
The Korean American immigrant community truly really shared the similar core values with the Jewish American community. The Korean moms could give Jewish moms run for their money when it comes to endlessly taking care of their children, and the Korean word is mishvuka, and boundlessly self-sacrificing for their children's education. Like the Jewish immigrants, Korean Americans have always maintained strong culture of faith and strong connection to their homeland and ethnic identity.
Here at the table, and we're each going to take a
young Jewish and Korean future leadership, and which achieves a few objectives. One, to networking, but two, understanding. I think a lot of, it was mentioned that the Korean community, wants to reach out and wants to learn, in the branch, and I think on the Jewish side as well, there's
We're both very small minorities. It's always surprising when I tell my Asian American friends how many few Jews there are in this country, but they do happen to live in the tri-state area. I'd say it's only 2%, and it's 1/3 of 1% perhaps for Korean Americans, but we do have a long sort of strong ties here in the tri-state area as well.
I just want to make a quick observation. So within the American Jewish Committee, which I've been on the board of for about a year and a half, 2 years, one thing I've noticed is how easy it is to make something happen.
And that's really what you're talking about, is finding those action items that you're going to be able to do together, whether it be joint mentoring, which is phenomenal.
The Jewish community have a very mature network of organizations that have always been advocating for access, constant access to all of the resources of the community. And
what has worked, what hasn't worked, and I think this is one area that many Jewish professionals have spent maybe too much time thinking about and developing, and perhaps that's one area of potential collaboration.